Hello everyone, Dana here with Love Sola Flowers. We are having a surprise nighttime tutorial and a flash sale. So this is like my favorite thing to do is spend my night crafting with you guys. And so we are going to actually do a flash sale on the flower that I am using tonight. So I will wait for some people to come on so I can tell you what flower that is, because it's exciting to always have a sale. But I've been waiting for a while to do this one. Yes, I've been wanting to do this for myself, but now I'm really excited that I get to do it as a tutorial. Hey Erica, hey Kayla, hi Shelly and Gail. I see you guys coming on. So I'm going to tell you what the flash sale is first, and then I'm going to make some flowers with you. I'm actually going to paint them. Hey Gabby, I'm going to paint them, and then we're going to put something together. So I don't really want to show you just yet, because I want it to be a little bit of a surprise. But there is going to be a flash sale, so meaning it's only going to be a couple hours, okay? Because the sale for this flower is only for tonight. So let's see if you can guess it. What flower do you think I'm going to be doing tonight? That's going to be on the flash sale. It's going to be 50% off. No code necessary. It's going to be already discounted on the website, lovesolaflowers.com. But I want to see if any of you can guess what flower we're going to be making tonight. Again, I've been really excited about it. It is one of the newer flowers, and I've been wanting to make this arrangement for a long time, so I'm really excited we got the flower. I've been waiting for this flower for a while. Oh, you guessed it. Goodness gracious. You guessed it on the first try. You're right. We're going to do orchids, because actually I already labeled the video, so you all know probably then, right? Can you see the label of the video while I'm doing it? Thanks, Jill. You know, messy hair day, but we're making it go. Lisa, it's not the magnolia, but I am going to do the magnolia another day. I'm going to do some things with the magnolia another day. But is anyone else drinking coffee with me tonight? Like, I don't know. It's 9 o'clock here on the East Coast. I need to stay awake. So we're going to be talking about orchids. So orchids are 50% off on lovesolaflowers.com. So go get them, because it's only a couple hours. They're so great. Do you want to see what I'm going to be making first, or do you want me to just paint the flowers first? Do you want it to be a surprise what we're going to do and just paint them first? Because we can do either one. But orchids are on sale. They're the best. I'm so excited. I am going to be doing purpley orchids. I do like purpley ones, but orchids come in all different colors. But I'm going to be working with purples tonight because that's my favorite. So they are $4.99 for the pack. Your glittering cups I'm watching. Ooh, how fun. Hey, Bridget. I know, Alexa, they're amazing. Bridget, are you still pregnant? Yes. So Gail, I'm going to show you what I did, okay? So let me just show you maybe what the end project is going to be. All right, I'm going to show it to you. I already have one wood flower on there already, so you're going to get a little sneak peek. And then we're going to paint some, but the ones I'm painting, obviously I'm not going to use tonight because they need a few minutes to dry, obviously, before I start using them. So I've already dyed a bunch, and I'll show you those in a second. But we're going to make the plant, and again, you're going to see one wood flower already on there. But, see it, an orchid plant? Do you see mine? And then do you see they're like, you know, cheapy little silky ones? Mine, cheap ones. But today they're cheap because they're on sale, flash sale, 50% off. Okay, $4.99 for the pack. Let me see if I can pin that. Okay, there. I pinned the direct link to the orchids on sale. Get them. Only a couple hours, guys. Flash sale, meaning like tonight and then it's over. Okay, but see, we're gonna make an orchid plant. I'm gonna show you where I got this, how I'm doing it in a minute. But let's just paint some. Let me show you right now the ones that I painted already. Okay, slowing them over. All right. So I did these purpley ones, okay? Now, I looked up real orchids. There we go. Oh, Amber, thank you. I threw it on like 5 seconds ago, but the messy hair is just gonna have to deal with it tonight. So, I hand painted these, obviously. And I looked up some orchids ahead of time, like when I'm hand painting, I Google image search the flowers that I'm wanting to make. And the orchids come in so many different colors, but they also come in this. Let me tell you, some of them have the dark centers and then the light tips, where, let me take the ugly silk one out. Some of them have the dark on the outside and the light in the center. So I'm going to show you quickly how to do both ways. But if you Google image search orchids, you can see kind of how you're wanting to paint it, that kind of stuff. Okay. So I did, for this plant, I'm doing the darker centers with the lighter edges, but they do come in, again, this is like cheapy one. It does come in with the lighter centers and then the darker edges. I love the purples for orchids too. It's just my favorite color of them. Okay, so I'm going to just show you quickly how to hand paint the orchids both ways with the lighter center or the darker center. And then I'm just going to roll up my sleeves because, and this shirt, so I just ordered from Etsy, and someone sent me the shirt for free. And it's very exciting, so that's why I'm wearing it today, but I don't want to get paint on it, so I'm rolling up my sleeves here. All right, I have a very, very light purple in this bag. It is latex paint. It's Bear brand, and it's mixed with water. It's pretty watered down because when you're painting the orchids, you want them pretty wet so that it bleeds into each other. The colors bleed. And then this is just water, and it does have glycerin in it. I usually use spray and conditioner because apparently spray and conditioner, I've been using glycerin my whole life and I didn't even realize it, but I usually spray and leave in conditioner, but I ran out. So this has just a tiny bit of glycerin in it, but it's also just water, and I'll need that if my flowers get too dry and I can't blend very well. So if you are just joining us, because I see a bunch of people popping on, the orchids, Sola Orchids. Hey Trish, Sola Orchids are 50% off, but it's a flash sale. It's just tonight. So if you want orchids, 50% off, $4.99 for the pack. Get them tonight. I'm going to teach you how to paint them and then put them together on a plant. Okay? So go get those now if you want them on sale. Everybody wants them on sale, right? So I've got they come in 2-inch and 3-inch. If you're going to make a plant like I have, you're going to need both. So get a package of both, okay? And let me see how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have like 6 and 6. So you're gonna need like 2 packs of both to make some plants. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna use my little 2-inch just for the sample. Look how pretty they are. Honestly, I've seen other Sola orchids. They are not like these. These are so beautiful. These are the best orchids. I asked Sultan for orchids, and of course he finds the best because that's what he does. So we have the best orchids going on here. I have the light, okay? So what I'm gonna do first is the one where the center is darker. Okay, so I'm gonna dip the flower in the light color, okay? Light color, dipping in. And then I'm gonna put it to the side. I'm gonna do one more. Really, Bridget? Orchids are like my favorite flower too. I've been like begging for these for a really long time, and I finally got them. I've been wanting an orchid plant because so many people give orchid plants as a gift, and you know, they die. So, okay. So see my light purple? It looks white on the camera, but it's a very, very, very light purple. Okay, I'm gonna put it down there, and I'm gonna dip one more because I'm gonna do, again, where the center is darker and then where the outsides are darker. I'm gonna take one more. I mean, I love orchids even in wedding bouquets now, like when the spring starts coming, but purple has been a pretty popular winter color. Like February weddings should have purple orchids in it, just saying, because I like to do them. So, okay, again, this is a super duper light purple, so you're probably not gonna see it. I'm gonna turn the lights just a little bit down anyway, so you can see maybe a little bit better. You're not gonna be able to see it kind of on your end because I wanted, let me just turn this down. Okay. Hey, I know, Amanda, I'm gonna try to do more like nighttime lives. People tend to be home, and I'm also gonna do some like weekend lives because I think that's kind of better times for people. So yes, Bridget, best versions ever. Yeah, it looks white. Let me see. I mean, I want it to be almost white, but it's got like a very, very, very like little bit of purple. Okay, I did it on purpose. I wanted it that light. But yeah, so I'm gonna start doing nighttime ones and maybe weekend ones. Saturday morning, I'll do another live for you all, Christmas something. So let's get started on hand painting these. Okay, so they have to be very wet because I want it to bleed. Here's my purple that I'm adding to it. Again, I wanted it very light because when I do the reverse where the centers are light here, let me show you my fake one, my fake ugly self one. See how light the center is? It's almost white. That's the kind of look that I was gonna do for this. So, all right, so I got this purpley going on. It's a pretty good match to the original version. I've got my water and glycerin spray that I can keep my flower wet while I'm painting. So let me just do the center dark first. Can you all see my thing here? Yes, okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna spritz it so that we're super duper wet here. I got my purple paint and I just dip my brush in very watered down. Let me show you again. This is very watered down, but it's a bright color. All right, I'm going to just hold my flower and I'm just gonna touch my brush. Here, let me do it really, really close, watch. Okay, show you up close and personal. That's why I have you closer today. Okay, so see, and let me see. All right, I'm just gonna, I'm doing it backwards in the video. Okay, I'm just gonna touch, and you see how it bleeds down? So we're gonna let that bleed to the whole center. Okay, I'm just literally touching it because it's so wet that it like soaks it up like that. That was a weird noise, sorry. A little obnoxious, but it does that like a little straw. It soaks up the wet, and I'm just touching it and doing that little kind of bulb on the center. And if you feel like it's not bleeding very easily, you can either water down the paint that you're using, or you can spray it more with the water mixture. You can just use water, but this has glycerin in it because that's what we've been spraying our flowers with before we dye them. Okay, so I just touched the center, and that's all we did so far. I see a bunch more people coming on. So there's a flash sale right now on Orchids. 50% off, no code needed. It's pinned in the comments there. Yeah, $4.99 for the set. All right, okay. So now I'm gonna take my brush and I'm gonna hold it on the center and I'm just gonna swipe it up, but I'm not gonna do much. I'm just gonna let it bleed, okay? Let me see if I can do this close again for you. Again, I don't want a straight line, so I'm just touching my brush really, really gently and letting it soak up. Do you see how it's bleeding? Let me try it one more time, but closer, okay? Let me see if I can do this backwards. Okay, so I'm just gonna touch it at the base and I'm gonna just swipe it up and let it bleed into there, okay? It does all the work for you. If your flower is wet enough, the wood does all the work. And this is basically how I hand paint most of my stuff. We do have more videos on here. If you feel like your flower is getting too dry, just spritz it up, okay? I want to do every petal on the inside of these. Again, if you're just joining us, the flash sale is just for tonight. So if you're wanting orchids on sale at 50% off, now's the time to do it. Plus, if you didn't even realize we had orchids, because they are new and they snuck in there with all the other new ones, so maybe you're just knowing that we have orchids. Or maybe now I'm motivating you to make something with them. So go buy them, okay? So this is where the center is darker. And if I want it to bleed out even more, I can spritz it right now and it would just go, it like literally just expands, okay? So that's where my center is darker. Now I'm gonna do it where it's reverse. Okay, now, let me see, this might not be wet enough. I might dry it a little bit here. Okay, and we're gonna make an orchid plant after this, so just bear with me for these two little dyeing instructions here. Okay, so this one, it's basically the same concept, except I'm touching the tip of the petal and letting it bleed down. Now again, if it doesn't just bleed down, let me see if I can do it this way. If it doesn't just bleed down, then maybe your flower is not wet enough. But you should be able to just touch it on the tip of it and let it bleed and drip right down. Sharon, I'm gonna do one. I'm doing one actually this week. So I will show you what a wedding looks like with the orchids. Okay, so again, I'm just touching the tip, letting it run down. Now the ones that were darker on the outside, there wasn't much light on the inside. So we're gonna let it kind of go down pretty far. If you're not wanting it to bleed so far, where you're just wanting a little touch of color, then obviously the drier your petals are, the better. So again, I'm just touching it, literally tapping it and letting it bleed. Okay. I love these flowers. I really have been waiting so long for orchids. I've never seen them like this. This Sola orchid is so realistic looking, so beautiful. And I mean, talk about like, you know, sometimes being nervous about like fragile flowers. These are not fragile at all. They are totally, they're like too thick, 2 layers thick. Sharon, not as alive. I'm showing you how to do that now, but my bouquet will not be as alive. But let me do the outside petals too. So I'm gonna just like let it run down. So yeah, so these are like 2 layers of petals thick. So these are strong. They don't break at all. Like these are perfect hardy flowers that look delicate. Okay, so if you're joining again, 50% off, but no code necessary. It's just a flash sale. Oh no, Gail, it's 9 o'clock. 9:20. That's why, Gail, that's why we got coffee. Anyway, very thick, very hardy, won't break. You can be kind of rough with it. I don't suggest you to be rough with it, but if you're like me and you make bouquets and you're a little rough, you're not having to be scared. Okay. Oh wait, I missed a spot. When I held it up, I could see it. Okay, and you can keep spraying while you're doing it if your flower starts drying. Okay, so this would be the reverse. Okay, so this is actually more like the ugly version that I took off of my plant. Here, so see? Can you see? And you can even paint that center, like some of them are yellow in the center. I'm not wanting to though, but you can if you want to do like the center yellow. Okay, so this is my version of where the outside's the darker and then where the light side's the darker. Okay, all right. So now let's move to making our actual orchid. Hey Dawn, hey Ashley. I see more people popping on. We're having an orchid sale. Okay, so as you can see, I already put one of my flowers on, okay? So here's the deal. I bought this fake, kind of ugly silk, cheapy cheaps on Amazon. And I'm gonna use it to deconstruct because it's just easier to use this stem. And it wasn't very expensive. It was like a couple dollars. And I'm going to remove them and put mine on there. And we can make a high-end version of an orchid without having to worry about how to make the stem. It already came in the pot. It already comes with its leaves. So this was the easiest way. I feel like we can make Sola orchids. I'm sure you can go and you can form, you know, the stems yourself and get the leaves yourself. But it doesn't make sense if you're going to try to just make fast money. And I think that orchids will sell very well, especially at craft shows and stuff, because a lot of times people buy orchids for people. Do I use acrylic paint? I don't, Regina. I use latex paint. I use Behr brand, B-E-H-R, you know, from Home Depot. That's what I use because it is a little softer. But I do know people are using acrylics now, but they're adding glycerin. I don't know recipes or anything like that, but I use Behr brand latex because it has pretty thick coverage. So and because I can customize like long distance. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be super easy. I'm just gonna pop off theirs and put on mine. So literally they pop off, right? And I'm not even gonna touch anything. I'm gonna replace one at a time so I don't lose where they are. So the thing about this is obviously you've got your tied back and you've got kind of a tiny little stem. So I'm gonna take a wire and like make a bigger hole. Okay, I'm gonna put some glue right on that hole, and I'm going to slide it on. How easy is that? We're just gonna replace these ugly, cheapy silk ones with these wood ones. I just wanna make sure it dries before I move on. Okay, let me do this one. And again, I'm using 3" towards the back, and then I'm going to use the 2" for the smaller right one, the smaller front ones there. So let's find another one. I'm gonna make the hole. Again, guys, the 50% off Orchids is a flash sale, so it's only a couple hours. It's only for today. There's no code necessary. Orchids are a very popular gift flower when people go over people's houses for dinners and things like that. Orchids are like super popular. So make you some, sell you some here. All right. Look how pretty this is. Isn't that pretty? And you can do all different colors. There are white ones. Again, you could do the reverse. Look how pretty that would be. Look. Wouldn't those be pretty too, the reverse ones? Where it's dark on the outside. How pretty would that be on this little plant here? And again, this was really cheap. It was from Amazon. Just type in like fake orchid plant and get the cheapest one that there is, because it doesn't matter what the flowers look like because you're not keeping them. So I'm gonna do the 2". Let me see how many 2" I have. Yes, my 2" one. Let me make sure I counted right. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna do my 2" ones for my front ones, okay? Gonna make my hole after I pull off. Oh, I already pulled off my flower. Okay, let me make my hole. Where did my wire go? Let me get a new wire. Okay. I wanna see orchids in all the different colors, guys. Make orchids and show me your colors. And I think you could sell this for a pretty good price because, again, people buy real plants and they're expensive. My mother it's so funny because I was planning this tutorial and then I saw like a real orchid plant in my mom's house, and I was like, Mom, it's dying. And I was like, oh, I wonder if your stem is dying. And that was dying too. All the petals were falling apart. And it was ugly. So I was like, oh, I have a solution for people who want to give orchids. Okay, I've got one more on this. Oh, good, Regina. Regina, these orchids are beautiful. Like I said, I've been asking for quite a long time for orchids. And Sultan really found the best of the best. The best shape that I've seen and the most realistic that I've seen. And the sturdiest. Like, these are sturdy and they don't have wires in them. These orchids, they are just the Sola. No wires or anything like that, so you're not having to worry about that. My glue gun is super duper hot because it's been on forever, so I'm kind of melting the plastic. So let me just make a better hole here so that I could slip it in easy. I'm just gonna have to hold it there because it is hot and not drying very fast. Hot. Okay. But how easy is this to make an orchid plant? Popping it off, burning your fingers. All right, let me cut the nip off this because it's not going in very well because I'm melting it. So I'm just gonna bring it back to the stronger part of it. All right. All right. The little tip of it was so small and my gun is so hot right now that I like melted it off, but we're good. Hey Victoria. Orchids on sale for 50% off. No code necessary. Only for tonight. So if you're wanting these orchids, guys, look at how pretty. Look how pretty. Look how easy. It's like done in 10 seconds. Except if you burn your finger off, then it's not so easy, but... Right, Regina? Okay, let me finish it up because you're going to see how pretty it is. And again, you can make these in all different colors because I looked up orchids and I was like, well, I like purple, so I went with purple, but like apparently orchids come in like a million different colors. And I didn't know that. Okay. The direct link to purchase the orchids is pinned on the bottom of this video. So if you want to just click on that. I used, so for this plant, for this size plant, but I have a bigger one. This is actually a smaller size just for the sake of this tutorial, but bigger one. So I would get at least 2 packs of both size. Yay, Allison. I want to see what color scheme you use. What colors are you thinking you're going to do? I want to know what colors everyone's going to do. Thanks, Trish. If anyone wants the links to the one that I bought on Amazon, I can give you guys that if you want that. But I'm sure there's even cheaper ones. I didn't really do a ton of research. I just kind of grabbed the first one that I saw that was like, that's cheap enough that I can sell this for good money. So, but what colors are you guys going to do your orchids? I want to see them though. I want to make sure that you post them so that I can see what you make. I'm going to cut this a little shorter too because I feel like I'm going to melt it. But it's so easy. And again, I didn't just pop all the heads off first because I want to like make sure that I'm doing it in the right directions and everything. So I just waited till I was ready with the flower. And don't put them on wet. So make sure if you're hand painting them and everything, make sure they're really dry. Such hot glue. I've already got one burned, but I'm working on more apparently. Guys, isn't this so pretty? All right, Regina, I'll put the link up. Probably in our tips and tricks community group. I'll throw it up there with a picture. Blue would be so pretty. So even like a blue with purple, like a violet-y kind of blue. This one does not want to come off. Okay, we're good. We're good. But blue, yes, blue would be beautiful. I've just been into purple lately. Okay, this is my last 2-incher, okay? So again, you're gonna need, if you're gonna make a plant, you're gonna need 2 inches and 3 inches. So make sure you get both. Because if you do 3 inches all the way through, the ones on the ends are gonna look a little bit too big for that. Okay, so make sure you get both sizes. Do it while it's 50% off. Let's see if I need to trim this one down. I'm going to trim this one down too again because, again, I'm kind of melting the tips of it. Okay. Easiest thing ever. And it's beautiful. Guys, my version is way prettier than that ugly silk version. And how long did that take me? Like a few minutes? And if I wasn't, you know, chatting it up, making conversation, could have been even faster. Burning my finger, melting plastic, all that kind of stuff. So it really could be a very fast, you know, gift for someone. Good for people who are selling these because, look. And these bend, so I'm not really sure where they're supposed to go, but I don't know how the leaves grow. I'll have to look like, I like to look at the real versions. And this was my smaller one. I have a bigger one too that I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll do some blue too, Casey. Excited about that. I know, right? Dude, get your orchids, guys. 50% off. Again, let me show you how we hand painted. Again, you could do the reverse where the tips are the color. See, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll make a bunch of these and do this. I feel like I'm going to be making a lot of orchid plants just because I'm probably going to put them around my house because they're beautiful. Because these are the best orchids ever. Like really, look at this orchid. Yes, Allison, that's what I was saying. The yellow centers. It's really pretty. I don't have any yellow paint though, like with me. But look at these guys. Look at how beautiful they are. See the centers. See how the shape is. They are so realistic. Sultan did a really good job finding orchids that were like really realistic. They don't have wires, so you're not gonna worry about them poking through. But look, they are double layered. Can you see? So they are super strong and thick. They will not break. I mean, you know, they can break, but they won't break easily. But look how pretty. Yeah, I'm gonna let those dry. And yeah, get them while they're 50% off. Again, it's only for tonight. It is a flash sale. So we're only gonna have for a couple hours. I know it's late on the East Coast, but don't miss out on the sale. Look how pretty. Again, I'm sure you could figure out a way to do your own stem, but look, this has like the little seed pods and everything. Like, why, by the time you were to buy stems and do all that, you probably are gonna spend as much money as it would be to buy a cheapy silk one and pop the heads off. I feel like it's gonna be, I feel like it'd be cheaper. And then by the time you find like a glass and a vase, and don't do it. Just buy one, pull off the ugly silk and put on your Sola. That's what I have to say. All right, does anyone have any questions about orchids or painting or any of that? If not, I'm gonna say goodnight and leave you guys to go shopping for your orchids because it's exciting. I do wanna see all your colors that you use because I want, you know, some ideas too. But I think that if you're gonna hand paint too, go Google image search orchids and like just watch, you know, the color schemes and all that kind of stuff just to make it more realistic, which is what we did here. I found one that looked, you know, like this. I tried to match colors because I like things to look realistic. But how pretty is that? I think if someone had this like on their windowsill, like no one would know that they're fake because, you know, orchid plants are popular and everything. So, so yeah, so go get them. Flash sale, 50% off, only $4.99 for the set. Link is in the pinned in the comments. And if you have any questions and you're watching this on replay, feel free to write it in the comments and I will answer it. If you're watching this on the replay when the flash sale is over, which would be tomorrow, you know, like you're still gonna wanna get these guys. And there's always sales and everything else too. So you're gonna get the chance to get them, but right now, 50% off. So get them now. Okay, so I will talk to you guys Saturday morning when I come back with another tutorial, and it'll be my last Christmas tutorial on Saturday morning. So I will see you guys then. All right, good night.